What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Join Ninja Nation, the best baseball community on YouTube. And now, without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Chris Bassitt, who had 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, thanks to his curveball, his cutter, and his fastball. And I thought this overlay gives you a really good visual about what makes a dead zone cutter so effective on lefties. Bassitt throws Friedman this fastball inside, the Friedman fouls off, and then follows it up with a dead zone cutter right in the dead zone of his swing path. The cutter looks the same as the fastball, but ends up under Friedman's swing path for the K. That is excellent pitch sequencing and tunneling. Bassitt was up against Clayton Kershaw, and I love this from Kershaw, this pregame visualization he does. He's a sure first ballot Hall of Famer, and a lot of the reason why is he does all the little things right. He ended up with 6 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up only 1 hit and 1 run. And here's some more little things Kershaw does right. Here's a 3-pitch overlay of Kershaw's fastball, curveball, and slider, and you can see how identical his mechanics are. And the release points are also identical. The hitter has no idea what's coming. And then here's a 2-pitch overlay of Kershaw's fastball and slider, and you can see how well he tunnels pitches. Between this visualization, his consistency of mechanics, and his pitch tunneling, it's no wonder he's one of the all-time greats. Shane Bieber had 11 strikeouts in 7 innings. He did give up 3 runs, but his stuff was still really dirty. And here's a great overlay that shows you why you might take a fastball in the zone. Bieber throws a knuckle curve in the dirt and follows it up with a fastball that looks like that knuckle curve, but ends up not dropping to the dirt, but catching the zone. Pitch tunneling can induce swings and also can induce takes. Kyle Bradish had 5 strikeouts, giving up only 2 hits and no runs, and had this White Castle special, as well as a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Johnny Cueto went 5 1/3 innings with 5 strikeouts, giving up only 1 run thanks to his changeup, fastball, and sinker. Glenn Otto had these filthy breaking balls on his way to 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. Paulo Espino had these beautiful slow curves at over 3,000 RPMs. Look at that pretty 12-6 action. He had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up only 1 run. Ken Waldichuk made his major league debut and had 6 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings, giving up only 1 run, thanks to his fastballs and slider. Merrill Kelly had 7 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up no runs, thanks to his cutters, changeup, and fastball. And Kelly is another underappreciated ace. His ERA this season, 2.84. Logan Gilbert went 6 innings and had 9 Ks. Nice. And he gave up only 2 hits. The thing I really appreciate about Logan Gilbert is his little K-strut wave to a hitter as he strikes them out. A very nice and personal touch. Gilbert's ERA on the season is now 3.35. Chad Kuhl had some nasty sliders and knuckle curves and had 7 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. But my filthiest pitcher of the night, you guessed it, it's Spencer Strider. Quadzilla reminded me of Godzilla, incinerating the Rockies lineup. He had 16 strikeouts, the most ever by an Atlanta Brave. And yes, that includes John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, and Tom Glavine. You might remember me in a video earlier in the year saying Spencer Strider had the most overpowering stuff of any Atlanta Braves starter that I can remember, and that includes the Hall of Famers. And I totally stand by that. That doesn't mean he's better than them. It means he is more overpowering than any Brave starter they've ever had. His fastball was up to 100.5 miles an hour this game, and he was absolutely painting with it. But to be honest, his best pitch last night was his slider. He had a 63% whiff rate on his slider last night. And when you combine that electric fastball with an unhittable slider, well, you're going to rack up a lot of Ks. Here are several fastball and slider overlays, and you can see why that combo is lethal to hitters. You get so many bad swings on a slider if it looks just like your fastball, especially when that fastball is upper 90s or 100 miles an hour. You have to make a quick decision, often guess, and if you guess wrong, you're swinging at air. Strider also had several White Castle specials, including one for his 16th K. Not only did he have 16 strikeouts, but he gave up only 2 hits and had no walks. Undoubtedly one of the best pitching performances of the season. As a bonus gift to y'all, here is Spencer Strider's slider grip.
Similar fastball, upper 90s, Jacob deGrom, his slider stays with that fastball for so long. It's not it doesn't have the most depth of any slider for sure, but it pairs perfectly with his fastball. And so I thought, well, what are some checkpoints that I can hit here? Spin axis and velocity. That's all I'm going to care about. I'm not going to worry about the movement, the depth, the shape, just spin axis and velocity. If those things are right, the pitch will be good. It'll tunnel with my fastball. To supinate, because I'm so naturally behind the ball, I grabbed the ball like this and I thought, I need to come through this way. I don't. I throw it like this, but I needed to feel this supination where my fingers are at the front of the ball. And so I tucked my thumb under the ball, grabbed around the front part of the horseshoe where it comes around, the top, and I'm hooked on here with my 2 fingers. And I just think, throw a karate chop. And that locked my wrist here. So rather than being here, which is how I thought about it, it's really here. And I'm able to be on the front of the ball and pull the top of the seams there. And I get that gyro spin. And as I've gotten better with it, and as my arm has learned how to supinate more, now I'm getting, instead of like 10 o'clock spin, I'm getting 8 o'clock spin. And I start to get feel for like a 7 o'clock spin where I can almost roll the curveball out sometimes and like sort of freeze a guy or steal a strike.
And now, my filthiest relievers. Adam Ottavino had this nasty 2-seamer and slider combo. Cionel Perez had this heat. Matt Brash had his knuckle curve and slider both over 3,000 RPMs, and that was wicked. Justin Lawrence had these mean sliders. Felix Bautista continued with his incredible splitters. But my filthiest pitch by reliever yesterday, cue the trumpets, it was Edwin Diaz with this 103-mile-an-hour fastball. You hear people say velocity doesn't matter, it's all about hitting your spots. Screw it. Throw 103 by the hitter. I freaking love it.
103!
And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. It's Sam Haggerty auditioning for Spider-Man. Honestly, more like Swaggerty. What is up, Ninja Nation? My picks of the day today are 3-leg parlay. I'm going to go with Lance McCullers for 6 strikeouts or more, Dustin May for 6 strikeouts or more, and then Sandy Alcantara for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?